So we know who the fifth man is on the OG Bloodline War Games team, but we don't know who attacked Jade Cargill. One mystery solved, and another one just started. These are my assorted thoughts on the November 22nd, 2024 WWE Smackdown. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jason C. McLean. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, wrestling opinion videos, a WWE Premium Live event, predictions and reviews, and assorted thoughts on Raw and SmackDown. Now, I'm recording this the day after SmackDown, the 23rd of November, 2024. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, as I was watching SmackDown last night, I started thinking, okay, great. The last segment's going to be the Bloodline, but it's probably not going to resolve anything. They're going to save that for Raw or something like that because, you know, Seth Rollins isn't there. Obviously, they're going to eventually get Seth to be the last man, and maybe there'll be a swerve at the last minute. So the main thing is going to be what happened with Jade Cargill, maybe the Cody thing. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. But then, ladies and gentlemen, I love how Paul Heyman saying those lines backstage is effectively his theme music. I mean, it's kind of like the glass breaking with Austin, even by the major pop it would get. I wasn't expecting to see him tonight. I thought he might show up eventually, but how they set it up with the phone last week, I thought they were going to wait. But actually, it makes sense that they do this tonight, considering the following episode is taped right after this one, so you don't want spoilers about that. You want to get that out right away. So yeah, really great performance by Heyman. Looks really good, actually. Like he looks like he's in shape for him, but he looked very put together. Wasn't all disheveled, but I guess he's back with Roman. People talked about the red suit that he had on, which seemed to be kind of like Solo's colors, not his usual thing. But then again, those are original Bloodline colors as well, too. So I don't think he's gonna, betray the group, but who knows? But of course, Heyman calls in a favor from the original Paul Heyman guy, CM Punk, presumably the fifth member of Roman's War Games team. Now, I don't go blow by blow on this assorted thoughts. You can get that elsewhere, but basically, yeah, Punk came out, they fought. And they fought with the OG Bloodline, and there was that stare down. That stare down was excellent because I'm pretty sure Punk's going to be on the team. And we're thinking maybe Heyman's going to betray Roman with Punk. Who knows? Maybe that'll turn Punk heel. But regardless of that, I think it's going to be an honest partnership. We might be going Punk versus Roman at some point in the future. That stare down was intense. Man, those guys doing promos against each other would be amazing. But we're not going there yet. They are going to work together. I think what's really cool about this is the fact that CM Punk effectively took Seth Rollins' spot, even though he didn't want it, but he probably would have eventually been convinced by Roman apologizing to him, something like that, asking him personally, and he would have had been in the main event against Bronson Reed. But of course, CM Punk took his spot. One more reason for him to dislike Punk, and now Punk's teamed with Roman Reigns. So I think Punk Rollins is where they're going probably for WrestleMania. And I think this sets that up beautifully. I was kind of hoping it would be this. I thought it would take a little bit longer to get to it. I thought Seth would agree to join the team and then Paul Heyman would come in with Punk. But doing it right now, that was the unexpected part. Like I said, I thought the whole ending of the show was going to be just sort of like them getting beaten up by Solo's team again. And what are we going to do? Stretch it out. But no, things are moving a bit faster than the glacial pace they're normally at. We got CM Punk with the Bloodline. I don't think we're at the point. I could see him maybe saying on the mic at some point, I'm only doing this for Paul Heyman, but for the next few weeks, you got me. And for the next few weeks, he puts up the one. I mean, I don't think we'll get that. He's clearly not part of the Bloodline. Roman Reigns is not his tribal chief, but he's doing it. And wow, the star power in this match is incredible. At first I was hoping it would just be 4-on-4, but no, now that we got Punk involved, I think this is a much better story. Very happy with how this SmackDown ended. I'm also happy that Chelsea Green is one step closer to being the inaugural Women's United States champion. I also think the way it happened was really smart. Logically, Bianca Belair should have won that match. She's the big star, and you're thinking maybe the inaugural champion isn't going to be a mid-carder. It's going to be someone like Bayley or Bianca Belair or something like that. And eventually a mid-carder would take it, and that would help the Bianca Jade feud maybe. But the fact that Bianca didn't win made sense because she ran away because somebody attacked Jade Cargill backstage. So, and as far as we know, it wasn't Piper Niven. So I don't know. She hasn't been ruled out yet. So Chelsea wasn't the one who cheated, but she won legitimately, and she advances. I also like how the crowd was really cheering on Chelsea. They were going, "Let's go Chelsea," a number of times. Yes, they cheered Bianca Belair when she first came out. Nobody really cheered for Blair Davenport, but Chelsea, I think, is the real sympathetic one to win this tournament. Even though her character is a heel, she's really over. Like I personally think this title was made for Chelsea Green, and I hope she wins it. Also, as a Canadian, it'd be fun if another Canadian was the inaugural United States champion. The announcers kind of had fun with that as well too. But of course, the big takeaway from this match is what happened backstage. Someone attacked Jade Cargill, pushed her onto a car, smashed the windshield. We didn't see it happen. We don't know who did it. Now, there are a few suspects. Of course, this not only took Bianca Belair out of the match, I think mainly it potentially took Jade out of what definitely did take her out of the tournament next week. And it potentially is taking her out of the War Games match. Who's going to replace her in the tournament? There's a lot of speculation. Maybe Charlotte Flair is going to return, things like that. But I think whoever takes her spot in the tournament isn't the one who attacked her. The main suspect, of course, is Nia Jax and her crew, but they professed their innocence. They were together, and I think they were ruled out as suspects. And it makes sense. Why would, Nia would rather attack her in War Games. Because if they take her out, they're just going to get a replacement. Now, I don't think it's Piper Niven. I want her to be ruled out because that would taint Chelsea's victory in that match. People are going to think it's Bayley because I think Bayley's probably going to take her spot in the War Games if Bianca's okay with it, but Bianca's probably going to suspect that maybe Bayley was the one who did it. I think that's going to happen. She's going to be suspected, but ultimately I think it's going to be revealed that it's maybe Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez who were backstage. They showed up later in one of the last matches, so they were there, and they also like attacking people in parking lots as they did with Rhea Ripley. So I think ultimately the suspect is going to be Bayley, but then it's going to be revealed that it's really Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. But that's going to create a lot of tension on the War Games team. I would have liked to see Jade in War Games, but I think Bayley being her replacement is an interesting choice. It creates that tension where there really wasn't that much tension before. More on that tension in a little bit. Speaking of tension, we had the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens confrontation. I like this segment. I like that Cody really went for it. He basically unloaded on KO, and he made sense. But KO made sense before him too. They both were making sense. I think this new style of Triple H heel, like Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, I think it's really good. I think the heel that believes their stuff, but even while he was believing his stuff, when KO told the crowd after they booed him, it's not going to be tonight, like screwed them out of the show. I thought that was great. That was a nice little subtle bit. Also, his little dressing up in the suit, which was not really a suit, but just a t-shirt with an image of a tuxedo on it. Thought that was funny. He's still trying to be funny. He's still trying to be sarcastic, but he's clearly not that good with the jokes, and that's maybe part of the heel KO character. It's cheesy when he's a babyface and fun. Now it's just kind of sad when he's a heel, but he's really doing it well. Now, as far as when this match is going to be, I thought it was already determined for Saturday night's main event. I still think it's going to be there. Reason being, War Games already has a main event, a clear main event. It's the Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games at Survivor Series, and it even has a Canadian in it. It has Sami Zayn. Also, I don't think you want KO mixing in with that aspect of the main event picture at this point. Eventually, I think we are going to get to him and Sami yet again fighting, maybe even at WrestleMania. Who knows? But for now, I think keep it separate. Also, this gives Saturday night's main event a real main event. And I think KO versus Cody, if they build it all the way until then, that's going to be a hell of a match. And they're pretty much treating that as a PLE anyways, even though it's officially not that. It's going to be like a PLE. So looking forward to see where this goes. It's going slow, and I think that's deliberate to stretch it to Saturday night's main event. Who knows? Maybe even on next week's episode, which is really the one they already taped. Maybe I haven't heard any spoilers. Maybe KO attacks Cody, which is the reason why he doesn't even show up in the official capacity at, even though not for a match, at Survivor Series. Anyways, we'll see where this goes. I'm pretty sure Montez Ford is turning heel, but I'm certain that Tommaso Ciampa is. And for now, it looks like Johnny Gargano is going to stay a babyface, and DIY is just going to split. But I think Gargano's friendship with the Motor City Machine Guns might turn sour, and he might ultimately side with Ciampa. So I think DIY is going to be a heel tag team. The Street Profits, maybe tweeners, maybe we're going to, Montez Ford is definitely a lot more aggressive, but I think Dawkins does maybe calm him down a bit, but maybe I think they're going to stay sort of tweeners, and of course, Motor City Machine Guns are going to be the babyface tag team. I don't know if the crowd's going to take to that, but I like the fact that they're giving more importance to the tag team scene, at least on SmackDown. Raw, we still got to wait, but at least on SmackDown, I think it might move a little bit quicker from this point forward, but they're still trying to, maybe next week there'll be a bigger development. But they're probably waiting till after Survivor Series till they really start focusing on this, maybe setting something with this up this Saturday night's main event. But still, I think they're on the right track. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go, and I like that. I like that they're still building the Shinsuke Nakamura LA Knight feud. I'm not so thrilled they had to put in a Santos Escobar match to get there, though. I mean, wasn't that what last week was for? Legado versus LA Knight, and then we get the real next opponent. It was cool how they had Shinsuke's video distract LA Knight at the beginning and almost cost him the match in the early stages, but you knew he was going to retain, because why would Shinsuke want another champion? If he's going to go after LA Knight, he probably wants to go after that title. But it was the good video package thing. I mean, they could have done the thing they did with Cody one time where LA Knight's in the ring cutting a promo. He's distracted by the screen and Nakamura's behind him with the mist. But I guess they've already done that. Maybe they figured this was a better way to do it. Regardless, hopefully next time we're just going to go forward with LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura, and maybe a few, maybe 3 matches. I would even be okay if Shinsuke took the title, but LA Knight would have to win it back, of course, and then retain it for a while. Let's just get Legado completely out of this picture. Rhea Ripley clearing house with a kendo stick was, of course, the purpose behind the Naomi and Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae match, because seeing Mommy on SmackDown is about as exciting as seeing CM Punk on SmackDown. I got to wear this shirt for a SmackDown review. But of course, the other purpose of this was to sort of subtly hint that Bayley is going to be the new member of the team, because Bayley was involved with this match. Also, it seemed very carefully plotted that she was completely on a different side of the ring than Io Sky when Io Sky was coming in to help out. But Io Sky was mainly coming in to attack her War Games opponents rather than necessarily help Bayley. She was maybe trying to help Naomi. Who knows? And I also love the way that Nia Jax just basically caused the DQ and then sort of chided the crowd for having wrecked the match for them. Anyway, but yes, because Bayley and Io on the same team is about as tense as Bayley and Bianca. In fact, Bianca and Io seem to have no problem getting along with each other, even though they were at odds for a while too. But this is good plotting. The purpose of this match was the angle after, not the match itself. And it wasn't really about, Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae, although there was some tension between them. And it's not really about the briefcase. That stuff will come into play maybe in War Games, maybe after once everyone's forgotten about it. Maybe people aren't thinking about that in War Games and that's going to happen. But I like the way they're plotting this out. And I'm pretty sure Bayley is going to be the new partner. And how they're managing the tension is actually quite good. And these were my assorted thoughts on the November 22nd, 2024 WWE Smackdown. Do you agree with my takes? Some, all, none? Are you still liking this format? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. And once again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. I'm going to be back with my assorted thoughts on Raw, and of course, my Survivor Series War Games predictions video sometime during the week. I'll catch you next time, and for Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.